Hello, everyone, and welcome to Space Today's and Space Daily's first episode of a new show called The Hop Update. We're going to be talking about SpaceX's test campaigns in Boca Chica, primarily the Starship, and I'm being joined here by Gabriel. So, Gabriel, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's good to know that there's a lot of news and a lot of good things to tell you down in Boca Chica. So let's get started.
Yeah, so we're going to start talking about what happened during last week, and that was the Starship SN-10 launch. So they landed successfully, but after the launch, about 10 minutes, it exploded. So, Gabriel, why did it explode?
So, after it landed, everything was looking good, although the problem was it landed a little bit hard, which caused it to bounce, and that started a small fire, most likely on the inside, and pressure started building up inside the bulkhead, which caused it to rupture and then explode.
Yeah, so you're looking at, again, this video from a couple of weeks ago, and the future looks good. Gabriel, can you tell us about those future prototypes, which we just saw SN-11 on the pad?
Yeah, we saw, now that SN-11 is now on the pad, SN-15 is just waiting to be welded together. SN-16, we're still waiting on the nose cone and the fins. And SN-17, we're also waiting for the upper dome. And as things move on, our next version of prototypes, called the BNs, which are the boosters, are still being constructed, and we should have, or hopefully we'll have BN1 launched in like a month or two, and that'd be great because it's been a lot of test flights of the SN, so the BNs will hopefully be a little bit better.
Yeah, and Starship, the final one, is going to be 2 stages, so it's not 3, it's not 4, it's going to be fully reusable, so just like the Falcon 9 booster does, the booster Heavy will land, and the SN will land. So they're trying to get this done quickly so they can do Dear Moon in 2024. We'll talk about Dear Moon a little later, but let's show you some more of that landing, and we'll kind of explain what they did. So they do this maneuver called the skydive, as you're going to see here. They flip it to end up like this once they reach apogee, which in this case, was it 10 kilometers?
Yeah, 10 kilometers this time.
So they're going to be like this, then they're going to flip over to the right, and it's a crazy maneuver, but it actually works. And Gabriel, why are they doing this?
Well, so when they go on the belly, as you can tell right now, they do it to help slow down the vehicle and to help to slow down the vehicle. And also, when it re-enters the atmosphere, instead of spending a lot of money making very high-tech heat tiles, they only put it on the bottom so that it's a little bit less expensive and refurbishment is better. So they only put it on the bottom, and because it slows down, it's better. But there's the belly flop maneuver where it goes upright, and then it's about to land here. They shut that fire is on purpose. They shut down the engines, and it makes its way slowly to the ground. It picks up a little bit of speed, and it hits the ground hard. You can see it on the fire on the other side, and it bounces a little bit when it lands right over there.
Yeah, but this is actually the furthest they've gone. They actually landed, but you're going to see where it's going to explode in a couple of minutes. So we'll see that in the edit. But Gabriel, speaking about those heat tiles in the space shuttle, that was a big component of them. Whenever they would re-enter the atmosphere, they would always lose these heat tiles. And it's one thing to say that SpaceX is still using what has been used in space for many years, but they're really bringing it forward. And here's a little time lapse of what happened until the launch. They started to reopen it, and then that happened. But yeah, we're going to now take a look at current day Boca Chica as of March 8th. Here it is. We have, again, SN-11. They're going to put that crane up, and then they're going to put on the engine. So when they build it, there are no engines installed. And they do swap out engines a couple of times. Gabriel, can you explain why they've been swapping out engines?
Well, so it's very common, especially on new vehicles with new engines. It's very common for the engines to have problems, like maybe there's a little blockage in the fuel valve, maybe there's something wrong here and there, so they have to swap out the engines. And especially at the beginning of a program, like at the beginning of the Starship program, it's very vital to not spend too much money and to make sure that everything is right. So it's better to swap out an engine than to have to swap out a whole vehicle, because a vehicle launched and then there was a problem with the engine and it failed to reignite and you just lost the whole vehicle and you didn't gather the data that was needed from the engine. So that's why it's very important to swap out engines, even at the smallest problem.
And again, thank you all for watching and listening to the HOP Update. Thank you all.
Bye.